We have two policies first read tonight, and what?
We're good to go.
We're live right now?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Sorry.
Welcome everyone, I'm Phil Deneen, President of the Board of Education. Would everyone please stand for the pledge to the flag? I pledge allegiance to the flag
To the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
If everyone just please remain standing for a moment of silence in recognition of the 80th anniversary of the attack on Pearl Harbor, and reflect on those that lost their lives that day defending our great country. Thank you. Please be seated. Okay. We don't have a large crowd tonight, but in the event of an emergency, be aware of your exits to the rear, and there's one to your right and to your left in the event of emergency. Okay, all right. We're going to move on to our Islip Pride and presentations. We have our policy, our first reading tonight, Mrs. Ford.
Right, tonight is the first policy read for two policies, gender-neutral single occupancy bathrooms and graduation ceremonies, as well as an update to the graduation ceremonies, reflective of the updated regulation for graduation ceremonies. The first of three reads, and will they be going up on the website, Carrie Ann?
They are posted on, in Word docs, I think, that draft one. I don't know if the public can access that, but they are linked in the sidebar of the policy committee landing page, which is linked to the Board of Education homepage.
So they'll be available at the...
They're available in the public record.
Great.
And there
Thank you.
are hard copies here.
Great, thank you. Okay. Well, that's really all we have under Pride and presentations. We're now going to move on to our questions on our agenda items. Are there any questions from the Board of Education on any of our agenda items? Okay. Are there any questions from the public on any of our agenda items? If you do have one, please come down to the microphone, name and address, and we'll get those questions answered for you. Okay, so there's no questions from the public on that. This evening, we're going to pull, item 5Q is separate. Approval of personnel schedule, we're actually going to be pulling that this evening, so we're not voting on 5Q. So I would like to get a motion for consent agenda items 5A through 5O.
So moved.
And that was Mr. Bueller. Can I get a second? That's Mrs. Flora. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And that will all carry. Tonight, this evening, yeah, that's right. Yeah, this evening on the agenda items that was approved, item 5N, the request for proposal of full-day universal pre-kindergarten program. I'm going to turn that over to Dr. O'Hara so he could comment on that.
Yeah, sure. Mr. Dean was basically withdrawing the request for proposal. We had received two responses to that RFP. We denied both vendors because they did not meet the parameters of our RFP. However, we are going forward with universal pre-kindergarten. We sent our letter out today to the public. Registration begins December 13th, 14th, and 15th. There's pre-registration materials on the UPK landing page on the website. There's a flyer. There's also a link to frequently asked questions where parents can get the most common questions answered, and they have the ability to write in their own question to which we'll get a response. We expect to begin UPK on January 31st at Wing. There's 53 spots available. You must be a district resident to be able to register for the program. And then if we have more than 53 registrants, we will do a live live stream lottery on December 21st. And we will, every registrant, even if there's 100 or 200, will be picked, and every registrant will have a number. The first 53 will be registered in the UPK program, and numbers 55 or 54 through whatever will be on a waiting list.
Great, excellent. Thank you. That's good news for a lot of people out there that are looking forward to getting this implemented. Okay. That's it on our agenda items. At this time, we're going to move on to our public questions. And again, if there are any questions for the public, for the Board of Education, again, just please come down to the microphone and ask your questions, and we'll get those answered for you. Okay, there's just a couple people out in the audience, so we don't have any questions. All right. That's going to bring us to our, going pretty quickly, reports and correspondence. We don't even have anything on that. It's pretty quiet right now. That's actually going to bring us to our dates to remember.
PTSA.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry, Paul, how did I miss that?
I don't know.
Yeah, that's not on my thing, oh, sorry. Reports and correspondence, Paul, you want to talk about that?
Sure, the
PTSA?
PTSA shopping night, only good things have been said about the PTSA shopping night. They made about $1,500 from the event. The National Honor Society and Dr. Harris's students were amazing helping out. Mrs. Catalano's cooking class made cookies for the event, and children young and old were delighted with a visit by Santa and Mrs. Claus.
Great, thank you, Mr. Austin. I was there this evening, it was pretty well attended. It was nice to see that fundraiser, and Santa and Mrs. Santa looked very good out there. They did their pictures taken with all the people that came out there. So, alrighty, and I was a little remiss on the agenda items. I forgot to have Mrs. Fitzgerald review the personnel schedule.
Sure, gladly. The A1 this evening is the appointment of a secondary long-term sub in family and consumer science. The A2 is a resignation of a permanent sub on the elementary level. The A3 is an unpaid leave at the high school. The A4 is a varsity boys lacrosse assistant coach. And the B1 are non-instructional. We have the appointment of monitors at Comac Road, Sherwood, and Wing Elementary Schools. The B2, the resignation of a school monitor, the conclusion of a monitor, the conclusion of a permanent sub-teacher, the resignation of an account clerk, and the resignation of a substitute teacher. The B3, leave of absence of an individual monitor, instructional aide, and media aide, and another monitor at the high school. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Fitzgerald. All right, that's all we have on that. I didn't miss anything else. That's going to bring us to our dates to remember. School will be closed December 23rd through December 31st. For those who celebrate, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, Happy Kwanzaa. And we missed Hanukkah because it was early this year, and so we didn't get to wish that to those who celebrated, but those who did, I hope you had a very enjoyable Hanukkah. And our next Board of Ed meeting is going to be on January 11th with the exec session at 6:30, public starting at 7:30, and that will be here in the high school auditorium. The Board of Education is going to need to reconvene into executive session for the purpose of personnel, and that will conclude our meeting this evening. For those who came out tonight, thank you for attending our Board of Ed meeting. Again, I just want to wish everyone a happy and healthy New Year, and stay safe and enjoy your time with your families. Can I get a motion to move from open session to executive session for the purpose of personnel?
Motion.
Okay, that was Mrs. Flora, and that was Mr.
Second.
Austin. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Not carried. Thank you, everyone, and